Hello Buttercups, here's another story. This time we're reading Sally's Secret, because I know lots of you love this one, I do too. Right, okay, here we go. Sally's Secret. Once there was a little girl called Sally who liked making houses. She made them in all sorts of places. Behind the curtains, under tables, inside boxes and under umbrellas. Sometimes she took some fruit and biscuits into her house. Then she would make a little bed inside and pretend to go to sleep. There she is, fast asleep. Often some tidy person would come along and spoil Sally's houses by mistake, and she would have to begin all over again. It was very annoying. One day Sally found a secret house which nobody knew about. It was in a bush at the bottom of the garden. There was a hole in it just right for a front door, and inside were some leafy walls and room in the middle for Sally to stand up straight. The floor was of earth and it smelt lovely, a bit like one of our dens in the woods. She fetched her own little chair and then her best rose pattern tea set with all the handles still on it. Then she swept the floor with a branch and she made a little path of stones right up to the front door. Then Sally ran in to ask her mother if she could have some tea to take into her secret house. Mother gave her some plums and some tiny biscuits with pink and white icing, and some real milk and lump sugar for the tea set. Sally set out all the things in her house. She arranged all the plums and biscuits on some big leaf plates, and then bunches of flowers in a jam jar. When everything was ready, it looked very elegant. Sally was so pleased. She didn't want it to be a secret anymore. She wanted to show it to somebody. Her friend Rose was playing in the next door garden in her sandpit. "Come and have a tea party in my secret house," said Sally. Rose said she would come if she could dress up. So Sally showed Rose her secret house and had a tea party. Rose looked very smart in a hat and a shawl, and Sally poured out and said, "Do you take sugar?" They talked about babies, just like grown-up ladies. When all the plums and biscuits were eaten and only the crumbs were left, they heard a noise behind the house. Someone was coming. It was a striped cat. She came into the house and then she rubbed her soft head against Sally's legs and walked proudly out again. A while later, a little brown bird fluttered in through the door. He looked at them with his head on one side, and Sally and Rose sat very still. He hopped about, ate some crumbs, and then off he went. The last visitor was a ladybird, hurrying across one of the leaf plates. "That's 1, 2, 3, 4 visitors I've had in my secret house," said Sally, counting on her fingers. "Let's stay here forever," said Rose. But they couldn't, because it was bedtime. Bye bye, Buttercups.